Okay, so I've tried this a couple of times and haven't been successful yet, but third time's a charm. So the other day in our Zoom meeting, I showed my manuscript using the navigation pane on the left that kept track of all the chapters and the sections in the book. Made it really easy to move around in it and to move things around in it and so on. So here is a simplified version of how to use the navigation pane with the styles that Word provides to create that navigation pane so you can use that. I'm going to try to keep it just as simple as I can, but at the same time, thorough enough that it will be useful. Bear in mind, there's so many things you can do with Word. It's like, you know, you could go on forever here, but I only use certain things that I'm really familiar with, so I'm going to show you that. So to start off with that, I want to show you how to get that navigation pane up. If you go to, currently you always show up in the Home menu, but if you go to the View menu and look in Show, shows right here, and you can see navigation pane shows here. Click on that and you'll notice the navigation pane is up. Currently it shows in headings, but it can show other things too as a thumbnail view. This helps you find things in the documents. Right now we're going to deal just with headings. And the second thing we're going to bring up is we're going to bring up our styles, which is also, we have to go back to the home page for this. You'll see here's the styles box. Now you can't see all the styles that are in here, but if you click on it you can. Here's all the various styles. You'll notice right now normal is the default for everything you start typing, and that's what you'll normally use to write your manuscript. But if you click this little button with an arrow down here, it will, I have extra screens so it didn't show exactly, but this should dock on your system right here so you can see it. And have it here, which I want to keep open while we're working with this. So I'm going to start off and I'm going to write that's still in normal, you'll notice. And so is that. And this. Put a few more things in here. Excuse me, I guess that's all. Chat types and doing that. I'll show you in a minute how you can control capitalization, but let's just do this the easy way. Okay, got enough here to work with. Notice everything's in normal because that's the default. But to have it show up here, you have to assign it styles over here. And we're going to use the heading styles to do this. So for the book, we're actually going to give this the book title. So we'll put that right here. So in this particular case, we actually want it to get the whole thing. We'll go to part 1. Part 1 is going to be heading 1. So I put it in here, and you'll notice part 1 is right here. And there's a, for some reason my book title is not quite doing what I want it to do. Let's see if we have any luck with it. Well, let's try that. All right, we'll go with that for right now. Not sure why it's not showing up over here, but part 1. Now chapter 1 wants to be heading 2 so that it will be at one step decreased in here, so you can see that how that works. We'll do the same thing with chapter 2 is heading 2, in chapter 3, which is heading 2. That makes sense, doesn't it? Okay, scene 1 and scene 2, they're going to be heading 3. You can see how that works. Scene 1, scene 2, I can get them at the same time. Heading 3 and heading 3. So now I've got, a nice little layout for a book here, and you can go as deep into this as you want. I haven't been using this scene section, and I think I might start using that, frankly, because I think that's pretty helpful. The thing you can do over here is you can close these chapters up and not show them over here if you don't want to see them. In fact, you can even do it in here. This whole part can go into one section and just all be closed up like that. But you notice they're independent from one another. So you can do it in one place or the other or neither. So at this particular point, I want to show everything. So the most valuable thing, there are several valuable things about this, but one is that if you want to work on chapter 3, scene 1, and you have a long book, bang, you're there. It takes you deep into the book and you can work on it. Also, if you want to move things around, let's go back up here. And let's say that chapter 3, the information in chapter 3 is something I actually want to see after chapter 1. So I want to move it up there. The normal way you would think about doing that is you would come into your manuscript and drag it up there. But here's an even easier way to do it. Just go here, chapter 3, and grab it up and place it, put it in chapter 2, 2's place, and then just change the name. Now you have to change the name over here. You have to change the name in this place. In chapter 3. But that's how easily you can move things around. So I'm surprised this is not showing, but once again, that isn't really the important part of this, so I'm just not going to be concerned about that. So one other thing I wanted to show you is, suppose that you want part 1 to actually be centered. By going over to any of these styles, you can modify them. Right now, you'll notice that you get down here a little idea of how all these are set. Well, you can modify that by right-clicking. Hopefully, if you're right-handed, if you right-click, you can see that you can modify. And let's suppose that we want this part 1 to be in the center. I can choose the center right here. Now, all of the parts in the book will show up as part 1. And if I were to put in spell it 2 and give it number 1 heading, it would now be that font, that size, and in the center. So in that way, you can also put in here formatting for scenes, for instance. I could go to heading 3, modify this by going into, there's a place down here to format and paragraph, and I could go here. I'm not expecting you to catch all this, but it gives you the idea so you can go around and look at it. I can do a first line. Let's do this indentation right there at the part 5. Okay, so they're all indented like that. So hopefully that'll give you enough to easily use this concept or idea of the navigation pane and the styles pane. Hope it helps. Feel free to ask me questions if you like. You know my email. It's larry@larrydunlap.com. And of course, I'll answer through Google Groups if you want, or I'll see you in a Zoom session. So all you writers, keep writing.